Hey, what's up? I'm Pascal from Orangepixel and welcome to another video. Regulator City has turned into the big game development hell project that you never really want to find yourself in. So I'm now at the 4-year mark of what's probably my development hell project. It never started out like that, never expected it to call it that, but I think I deserve the rights to call it that after 4 years of development. Now that has nothing to do with the quality of the game, because I'm effing proud of the game, of what it currently is. There is so much going on, there's so much stuff you can do. It's really a big project, and it has to be a big project because I've put 4 years into it, and if it's still a tiny project by this time, I was doing something wrong. But I'm very happy now that the finish line is nearing. Now my to-do list is very short, just a couple of big things that needed to be done, and it feels good to near that finish line. So let's see what I've been doing on Regulator City. Also, let's talk about Steam workshops. That's an interesting topic, because I have no idea what I'm getting into, but I'm going there after the intro. Okay, so the end boss was one of the big things on my to-do list, and I was running against a wall for this one. I had no clue what to do with it. The game is not just a top-down shooter, there's a lot of tactics and strategy, so I did not want the end boss to just be one big fighting battle thing where the player shoots all its ammo and grabs a couple of extra weapons and grenades, throws it at the enemy, hoping the energy actually lowers. And that's why it's been taking me so long to get this end boss up and running. But I just started creating a Uzi blob and decided that you have to take out 1 or 2 different things before you can actually attack this enemy. So now the boss is not just this entity, this creature, but it actually has a whole level that's built around it and giving the player tactical and strategical targets and goals. And you have to take out certain things to get to the end boss, and then you kill the end boss, and then you have a victory moment, I guess. I have not actually implemented that part because you can take out the boss, but then there's not anything really happening. So that's still something I have to build in. But the big boss, Dr. Oozebrains, is now part of the game. Also, while working on this boss, I came to the conclusion that I had been here before. I did this before. And once I had everything in place and working, I remembered that this same setup is something I used in Space Grunts, where you have the alien portal monster, and you also have to find special rooms where you have to do certain thing to get or defeat that portal monster. It's pretty much that setup, but now in the world of Regulator City, which somehow ties it all up again into one big universe. Things repeat. Between all that fun work, I also updated the Regulator City capsule images on Steam. Also the logo, it was red, now I made it white, more readable. Every now and then people tell me they don't like it, they think it's crap, but I change these things up every few weeks or months just to see how it looks and how it works. And I also think that since this game has been in development for so long, by refreshing these images, people that happen to find it in their queues or in their what you might like lists or whatever, they will see a new different image and they might be more tempted to try it out and see what it's all about, instead of always seeing the same images and thinking, yeah, I've been there, done that, not checking it out, because the game evolves before it releases. So people should also keep up with it. They might find it more interesting now than they found it a few months ago. I certainly do as a developer. So every now and then I change stuff up. I haven't really found the perfect image yet. Right now Regulator City shows all these generals that you can pick, but it doesn't really show the gameplay. And of course the gameplay has been going through so many changes and evolved so many times that this artwork is kind of outdated. But I also have no idea what the new artwork should look like. Hopefully I'll figure that out in the upcoming few months before we release it. And that brings me to the bigger decision I made on the game in the last week. The level editor. I'm gonna ship it with the game, release it to the public, let people create maps with it. Now before I can actually do that, the level editor has to be much more user-friendly than it was. So last week I've been improving a bunch of little things. I simplified it in certain areas, and I had to add a whole file system. I had to be able to save a single file, load it, add file names, because it was all set up for me to create level packs that contain up to 16 levels all in one. Same file name, because those files were used in the game. But now I need to be able to have players save a file and email it to a friend or upload it somewhere. Other people be able to download it and play through that map. So I needed to do all that file handling. I do think that's what makes game development interesting, because you have to do these things in software development as well. But as a game developer, you also sometimes need to figure out how to do these type of things. And that makes you just more all-round than software developers. I might have hurt some people's feelings now. Sorry for the guy in the back. Hey, software development, also very cool. Just not as cool as game development. So moving on, I added a bunch of extra improvements that now allows you to quickly navigate a level, also show you where certain items are placed. If you want to find all the special vents or the dog ventilation shafts or certain enemies, you can now actually highlight them on the map. Now, of course, a normal tile editor doesn't have all these features, but since this is created inside this game, I can do whatever I want, and adding these features helped me a lot finding the right things. Also removed a bunch of crashes and other weird things happening. Hirogoshi on the Discord is testing out the level editor as we speak. So he really showed me a lot of things that were unclear to new users. So of course the problem now is that he's getting comfortable with the editor. So at a certain point he actually knows what to do, and I need another test subject. But I'm sure I can find somebody willing to sacrifice a couple of hours for that. Maybe, we'll see. Now, it is cool to have these levels available to load them, save them, email them or whatever, but Steam has a whole platform built for these type of things. Steam Workshop, one of those things. I haven't really used it. I think I tried to add it to my game Space Grunts back in 2015, looked at it a little bit. I think you need to upload a file and also create a little screenshot or image that goes along with it. And then of course you have to be able to figure out what the new levels are from the workshop and download those. And I have to figure out how all those things work and see if I can get that up and running. Otherwise, we'll have levels that you can email to people. That's still a fun function to have. But it's a lot cooler if you can automatically upload them to Steamworks and other players can automatically see a list of new maps and maybe vote for it. I'm not sure that's an option. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I think I'm making it more difficult for myself than it should be. So that's actually the thing I'm going to look at this week. It's a little feature creep. At this point in the development cycle, maybe not the smartest thing, but as I said, the to-do list is pretty short. So I can probably afford myself just a couple of days tinkering on this. Most of it is already working. We can edit levels, we can save them. We just need to upload them and download them and create a thumbnail image type thing. How hard could it all be? So that's really where I am now with Regulator City. The final stretch, the couple of things that need tweaking, changing. Of course, there's still the online multiplayer stuff. Not important. Would be cool to have. There's a multiplayer fest, I think, on Steam, February. Would be cool to have online multiplayer up and running by that time. If not, we have local co-op. And that's more than enough to ship this game. This is not a required feature, it's just a cool feature to have as a bonus. So I'm gonna look into that every now and then, here and there, before we release the game. Because even though my deadline is this month, so 2 weeks from now, I think I'm gonna make that. I'm not gonna release the game until early next year. I'm not gonna fight the whole battle for the December month and all the discounts, all the sales, all maybe big releases. I'm not gonna be there with Regulator City. Also, I need some time to figure out marketing. I actually need to create a trailer. That's one of the things on my to-do list, but I can do all that once the game is completely done. So yeah, rest of the week I'm diving back into Regulator City. And here and there I'm tinkering on my web project. In case you think that stopped, I'm actually making huge progress. Removed a bunch of bugs from Snakecore. Check out last week's video to see how that went. Got plans to port a couple of other Orangepixel games onto the new framework. And I'm trying to see if I can maybe get some sort of gaming portal of my own up and running, featuring my own games. Somehow. I got a lot of plans. I just need more time in my day to get all these things up and running. So I should probably stop talking to you now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already, comment below. hop on the Discord, come say hi. I might need someone who can do a level editing test here and there, or maybe if you're interested in trying out to edit some levels that might actually then end up in the game, let me know. I'm not gonna say yes to everybody, so if I'm not replying to you, it's not you, it's me. Just a lot of people asking and demanding my attention, and I can only go with a couple of people. So I made that very messy ending. I still like to thank you for watching it up to this point. So thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.